try and control and dominate him. So what does St. Paul say? St. Paul says, women, be submissive to your husbands. Okay, there's that part. But then he says to men, you must love your wives. And why is that? Because the proper effect of love, again, is union. And so as a result, if you love your wife, you won't want to distance yourself from her. You won't grow cold with her. You'll extend the proper affections. As a result, provided your wife is trying to be virtuous, that activity on your side will dispose her, because there's a natural mechanism in women that when they're treated properly by men, they want to subordinate themselves to the man. So if the man does that, if he loves his wife and extends to her the proper affections, then she will be more disposed to actually being submissive to the husband. Incidentally, this is a command from God, because St. Paul is saying this under divine inspiration. And why did God command it? Precisely because he knew how men and women worked. And so men have to do this in order to make their wives become more submissive. If you're doing everything spiritually, but you're not extending the proper affections, or if you're not loving your wife, and then you wonder why she's so insubordinate, you only have yourself to blame. So you can't ignore your wife. I have a friend of mine who actually he's the envy of the neighborhood, at least of the men in the neighborhood. The wives look on it, of course, with suspicion, because he has this wonderful house, and then on this property, about 30 feet from the house, he has this barn, which he's kind of set up shop in. So he's able to go and escape there, so he becomes the envy of all the men in the neighborhood. And of course, he does, ironically though, he does actually extend the proper affections to his wife. But you have to be very careful about doing things which actually distance you from your wife. The other thing is, too, is children recognize this. And as soon as they see this split within the family, they will use it to their advantage. And you have to be very careful, disadvantage actually in one sense, you have to be very careful. It also means that when he loves his wife, he'll seek what's good for her, and so as a result, he'll consider his welfare and the welfare of the children over his own welfare.